Hey guys, it's me again. Promised you that I was gonna shoot another video for you, and this is it. This is now the first video in a series of videos where I'm gonna be sharing with you and discussing with you about what I call the expert revolution, because this is the new economy. As in the last video I mentioned that we've gone through different cycles over centuries. Really, we've experienced, well, some people did, we were not born then. Some people experienced what we now call the agricultural age. Some people experienced the industrial age. Some people experienced the managerial age, and we are all experiencing what is now known as the information age. But we are now moving into another age, which is really changing the game, which is really a big game changer right now, and that is what I call the expert age. We are actually going through the transition now that I call the expert revolution. And I promised you that I'm going to share with you 40 things that experts know and that experts do over a series of videos, and this is the first one. So what is it that they know? So today I'm going to explore maybe 2 or 3 of these things, but what I want to start talking about, if you've gone to a party, I'm sure you have, or to a dinner or to an event, and you meet someone and they ask you, what do you do? Obviously, for most people, especially entrepreneurs who do a lot of things, who wear many hats, it's one of the most difficult questions to answer. And I know for a fact that this question has been a challenge for me for a very long time. When people ask you, what do you do? But I'm not going to give you an answer. I'm not going to solve your problem still with this video. But what I'm going to highlight is that when you ask an expert, what is it that you do? They don't tell you what they do, but they tell you what they practice. They will say, I practice, you finish it. Some people will say, I practice law. Some people will say, I practice accounting. The point I'm coming to is that this whole expert thing is not new, but it is relatively new for individuals. In fact, even for other businesses and other sectors, it is a new thing, but it's been around for many years. I mentioned in the last video that there were companies, or there still are, in fact, companies that over the last 50 years, they were known for being experts in specific areas. Some of these companies have been experts in consulting, either as legal firms, either as management consultants, the likes of McKinsey, the Accentures of this world, others, as I said, law firms, accounting firms, consulting firms, you name them. They've been there, and and the interesting thing about all these companies, they are called practices. Like they would say, a law practice, an accounting practice. There's a reason for that, and I think that's the reason that you're going to learn in this process as well, that experts, they don't do, they practice. And practice, what is this thing about practice? Practice leads to mastery, and I'm sure you've heard that masters, they don't practice for perfection's sake, but they practice for practice's sake. They practice to practice, basically, because just by focusing on the practice and keep doing what you're doing, which is what works really, you get better with time. Of course, if you practice the same thing that gives you the results you don't like, then you're going to continue to get all those bad results, except that you're going to become perfect in getting bad results. So you want to find out what works first, and then you practice that, and then you become known for that, and you become the expert that practices that. That's the one point. So experts practice, even in sport. I mean, the guys that are the greatest in what they do, the amount of time that they spend practicing what they do, the Michael Jordans of this world during his time, I mean, this was a guy who was spending a lot of time practicing. David Beckham, he's known as a dead ball specialist because he spent many hours on the field practicing those free kicks. It's all about practice. So what are you going to practice? You need to make up your mind. You need to decide what you're going to practice, because this is what you're going to be known for. The second thing that I want to touch on today is that in this economy, there will be 2 types of people, just 2. There will be experts and bureaucrats. It's either you're an expert or you're a bureaucrat. And the reason why we're having this series is so that we don't have bureaucrats. Unfortunately, if you're working in most of the corporations today, they train you. They say we hire the smartest people. We want them to come and work for us, to work in teams. I always love when I hear the definition of teamwork according to companies, because my interpretation of it, just by observing what companies do, teamwork is to say, hey, come here, be my slave, you work with this group of people and do as we say. We don't want you to think, just do it. You know what I mean? And people are competing within the same team. Everybody wants to be the smartest guy in the team. They want their ideas to be the greatest ideas, and they all want to be on top of the team, basically. And the team leader wants to come up tops as well. So it's a bit strange, but it happens. Guys, what we're focusing on now, what we want to train you for, is to become an expert. Because experts do things differently. They stick to one thing, they are known for that, and they're the go-to person for that. Unlike the norm, where if you're a young graduate, no one expects to get any ideas from you if you work for a big corporation, because they think that, what do you know, we've been doing this for 50 years. Interestingly enough, the experts today are young people. Look at social media. I met a lady 2 days ago when I was attending an event, and she's an expert in social media in her company. She's younger than 25 years old. I'm sure I was just respectful enough not to ask her age, but she's an expert in what she does. The question is, what are you going to be an expert in? Because other people, they want to force you to become a bureaucrat, and it's not going to serve you. It's not going to help you in this economy. You need to decide what you're going to be an expert in. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I see we've already exceeded 6 minutes. I'm going to leave it here. We've covered 2 points today. The first one is that experts practice. The second thing is that experts, you need to decide where you're going to be, either a bureaucrat or an expert. That's it for today, guys. I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to send you more videos, but I'll drop you an email and let you know. But keep coming back to this website. If you haven't filled in your name and your email address yet, there's a form up here, right on my right hand side, right at the top. Put your name, put your email, so that I can keep you posted. There's a lot more that I'm going to share with you. Stay with me over this next couple of weeks. There's a lot you're going to learn. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks for visiting, and we will be in touch. Cheers.